So I want you to introduce you to a little friend of mine. And my little friend is named Bob. Let me introduce you to Bob. Let's give him an eye there so you can see what he's doing. There you go. There's my friend Bob. And I'm introducing you to Bob because I want to share with you what happens when we communicate from the outside to the inside and back out again. So, when my friend Bob experiences an event, there it is, event just there. That event is just an event. Right now, this event and its little bubble is in a bubble. It has no meaning and it has no emotion. It's just an event. We take that event from the outside from the external world into our internal world, beg your pardon, through our senses, sight, sound, touch, taste, smell. So in coaching language, that's visually, auditorily, kinesthetically, olfactory, and gustatorily. Sight, sound, touch, taste, smell. Visual, auditory, kinesthetic, olfactory, gustatory. And that information from the event is coming to us at a rate of a staggering 2 to 4 million bits of information per second. That's a lot of information every single second. 2 to 4 million bits. Now, quite literally, if your conscious mind was consciously aware of 2 to 4 million bits of information every single second, you literally would go mad in a split second. It's way too much information overload for our conscious mind to deal with. So when that enters your internal, your unconscious mind, remember that most powerful part of us helps our conscious mind to deal with it by filtering that information. So it applies filters, and your filters include memories, experiences, culture, time, space, matter, beliefs, all of those things. And the way that we filter is this: we delete, we distort, and we generalize information. To make it much smaller. So, for instance, part of that 2 to 4 million bits per second, we are deleting every second. Your unconscious mind is always taking care of you, it's always keeping you safe. So the things that you don't consciously need to know, because it knows you're safe, it will delete for you. Yeah, because remember, it's your unconscious mind that never goes to sleep. It's your unconscious mind that is deleting the creaking of the floorboards and the heating turning on while you're asleep. You don't need to know that. That's normal. You're safe. But the bump in the night that is unusual, it will wake you up because it's saying, that is unusual. That's not right. You need to wake up and be safe. Does that make sense? So, for instance, right now, as we're talking, you're probably not consciously aware of the sensation in your right big toe. Until I just mentioned your right big toe, and I guess you're probably wriggling your right big toe right now. Yes. And as you're wriggling your right big toe, you're probably not consciously aware of maybe the traffic noise outside, or wherever you are, if there's an air conditioning unit going on, or the whir of a fan or something like that. You don't need to be aware of it, you're deleting it. We distort information, make facts bigger or smaller than they are, and we generalise, we globalise things, turn it into a big picture rather than all of the detail. So when we do that, delete, distort and generalise, like my friend Gareth, who said, everybody always calls me stupid, and I had to say, well, who's everybody and who's always, because he generalised it. So when we do that, we reduce this 2 to 4 million bits per second down to just 134 bits per second. That's a big difference, right? That's how clever your unconscious mind is. And we process that information most easily in chunks of 7 plus or minus 2. So anything from 5 to 9, great chunks we can deal with. More than 9 into overwhelm. Less than 5, do we have enough information to actually process it properly? So once you've done all of that, reduce it to 134 bits of information per second. Now we give it what we call a internal representation, or an internal, from the outside to the inside, representation of the external event. Now, because you and I have different filters, i.e. different experiences, memories, beliefs, maybe we grew up in different cultures, then my internal representation may actually be different than your internal representation or representation, and that is the meaning that we give it. Have you ever been witnessed an event and then instantly everybody's giving it such a different meaning? Yeah? See, if you're giving a report and they go, well, this is exactly what happened, and somebody else goes, no, it isn't, because we all give it a different IR, internal representation. Once I've given it an internal representation or a meaning, the meaning will dictate my emotional state, how I feel about it. And our emotional state is comprised of the words that we use, what we choose to focus on, and how we use our body or our physiology. So body, words and focus, very, very important, because they will impact and affect how we feel. So if I'm focusing on negative words, I'm going to feel negative. If I'm using my body in a slovenly way, then I'm just going to feel slovenly. So they all impact on each other. It's like a little triad, one impacting on the other. Once I've decided how I feel about that, what my emotional state is, my emotional state will dictate my behaviour. I.e. how I react or respond. And my reaction or my response will in turn dictate the results that I get or the actions that I take. Yeah? Are you with me still? And then I will communicate all of that back out, how I'm feeling, what I'm experiencing, the results that I got, etc. Back out through the words that I use, and I will describe that event, those emotions, those actions, those behaviours, how I'm feeling, using words that are very often visual, auditory, kinesthetic, or logical, olfactory and gustatory, taste and smell, if that's appropriate with what I'm describing, but definitely sight, sound, touch and logic. So that's really important. That's basic NLP communication model. And the reason that I'm sharing it again with you is because it is so important for you as coaches. I teach this to my clients right off the back, first session, because I want to empower them by educating them what goes on between their ears, so that they can take responsibility for how they filter, therefore the meaning that they give something, how they then feel about it, the response that they then choose, and the results that they get. If they are not getting the results that they want, or they're not having the emotions they want, then all that's right, they're not broken, nobody is broken, but maybe somewhere needs a little bit of a tweak. Yes, so if I can start to get them to understand that, what is going on, what's not working for them, what they want to work for them in the future, may just require a check-in with, how am I filtering that? What am I making it mean? What else could it mean? If I chose a different meaning, would I use different words to describe that? If I used different words and focused on a positive outcome, for instance, then that would probably affect how I show up physiologically. The hormones and the chemicals that I produce in my body would be different if I'm creating a Disney story versus a horror movie, right? So that state of mind will give me a different response. I can choose my response and what I'm going to do next, which will get me different results. So if you want to change the results that your clients are getting, you've got to figure out what's going on here. That is really important for you to keep in mind as a coach. But as I said, for your clients to take responsibility for their own mind and thoughts and feelings and actions and results. Empower them by educating them. Edupower them, if you like. So I'll leave you there with my friend Bob. Please take it, practice it, and use it and teach it to your clients, because the more you teach it, the more you understand it, and you'll have a much bigger impact with your coaching clients. I absolutely guarantee that. Bye for now.